Daniel 10 verse 5. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass. And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. Call halal la Yahweh bahasam Yahweh sa bahasam Kudash barakat Yahweh barakat Yahweh sa the water Yahweh bahasam Yahweh sa bahasam Kudash. Double honors to the apostles, to the elders of Yasharala, Greatmillstone. Shalom to the 144,000. Shalom to the elect. Alright, this video is just a reminder that the Most High and His Son are not white. Alright, they are not white. They are so-called black. Okay? They got melanin. Alright, it says right there, color to polished brass. Brass is a brown color. You might put brass like on Google Images, it might come out like yellow and all, but nah, that's some bullshit. It's supposed to be brown, alright? Now I made this video because alright, some spiritual idiot on Reddit, you know, this came on the front page of Reddit, and they got 21,000 likes. All right, if you look there at the bottom, man, 21K. So you got a whole bunch of people that agree with this folly, man, that God is a so-called white, that God and His Son are so-called white. See, the whole world keep thinking He's white, man, and that's a huge stumbling block, man. That's a huge stumbling block. All right, because our whole lives we've been led to believe He's white. You see it in movies. I think the only movies that ever did it justice was this old movie that came out. It was in black and white, where it showed the Lord and the angels as black people. I forgot the name of that movie, man, but it's a really old movie, man. I think it came out like in the 50s or something like that. But it showed the Most High and His angels as black people, and Bruce Almighty, man. All right, Evan Almighty, Bruce Almighty. You had Morgan Freeman. That's the first time, you know, in modern times they depicted the Lord as a black man. All right, and hey, and they know, man, because I was watching The Flash, this TV show called The Flash. They had a little crossover event, and they got this wicked show called Lucifer, and that character, the main character from that show, Lucifer, he says to this black, this black character, so-called black man, he said, "Oh, you remind me of my older brother." So these devils know, man. They know the Lord is black. They know the Most High is black. All right, which is really not black. They got melanin, but they keep on portraying that they're white, man, which is bullshit. All right, what did Yahweh Shai say right here in John 14 verse 9? Yahweh Shai saith unto him, Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that has seen me hath seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, she was the Father? So if you seen Yahweh Shai, you seen the Father, because they look alike. All right? And Yahweh Shai was a black man because the Israelites are black. All right? The ancient Israelites were black. But nowadays, because of Isaiah 11:11, Israel being scattered to the four corners of the earth, we look like all the races now. We're speckled birds. So we could look Chinese, we could look Arabic, we could look so-called African, so-called European, so-called Asian. All right, we could look like all the races. All right, but the ancient Israelites were black. All right, and a good example of how they were black is the story of Joseph. Okay, Joseph, he got sold to Egyptians into slavery by his brothers because they were jealous of him. And then the story. He interpreted Pharaoh's dream, and he came to be the right hand man of Pharaoh, and Pharaoh put him in charge of the grain, of the food during the famine. So Israel and his sons came down to Egypt looking for food because of the famine, and they didn't recognize him because they thought he was Egyptian. So if they thought he was Egyptian, that's because the ancient Egyptians were black. All right. So if the ancient Egyptians were black and they thought he was Egyptian, then by that logic, Joseph would have to be black as well. All right, and you can see here, all right, hieroglyphics. All right, how they were black. All right, the Egyptians were black. So-called, they only started being white around the Ptolemaic dynasty, because the Greeks came in there and they started sleeping with their women, and some of the Egyptians were popping them Greek women. But you can see right there, you see how he got his goatee just like the hieroglyphics as a so-called black man. All right, so you see how Ham, that's Ham right there. Ham rocking that pseudo fro. Look at that, man. Look at that, man. Look at the Egyptian images, and then you got so-called black people next to him, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. You can't be buying into these lies anymore, man. Can't be buying into this bullshit ass lie right here, man. I'm gonna end it with this. Revelation 1, starting at verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, right as Yahweh Shai, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, white as snow, and white like wool is the texture, and white as snow is the color. All right, and the only people that got hair that is like a wool texture is so-called black people, man. I so-called, some brown people. Actually, we're brown, we're not black. All right. And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So, hey, people got to get it out of their heads that they got to get this image out of their heads, man. This is a big stumbling block right here, man. The Cesare Borgia, all right, so-called white Jesus, so-called white God, right? It is all a lie, man. Hey, but all those lies will soon be revealed when the Lord comes back, right? And everybody sees the so-called black man in the sky, man. All these racist ass Edomites are these racist white people, racist Chinese people, racist Arabic people, who can't stand black people. When they see that so-called black man in the sky, man, they're gonna shit themselves. All right. So I'm gonna leave it there. I hope this video was edifying. Shalom.